Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Enspireship. This is our third episode with an entrepreneur, business owner who has come a long way, and he's also a client and a close friend as well. Let's see what this entrepreneur has to say. Mr. Jorge Tovar, good to see you, sir.
Hey, good to see you, Tamir.
Appreciate you taking the time out. I know you're very busy. George actually has a company called Avanza Equipment, and he's been in business for about 5 years. He went full-time about 3 years ago. We will ask him what his journey has been so far and what does it take to have a business and to get started and to really face the challenges as you go along. Tell me about yourself a little bit, your family, your hobbies, what do you do for fun?
My hobby is to spend time with my family, my two daughters. I wasn't always the family type guy in my younger years. But no, right now with my daughters, I think having children does change your life, and it did change mine in a big way. Also, I like to do some reading, of course, business stuff reading. I also like, philosophy, political stuff, history.
Oh, wow, okay.
So
I see. You keep yourself busy with many different things.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
I see, I see. No, I know exactly what you mean. The kids grow fast. I have three girls. Oldest is 24. It was just like yesterday, she was 3 or 4, right? So
right.
Enjoy yourself, spend the time because you're going to remember that. Tell me about the company. What is the name of the company and what do you do?
We're Avanza Equipment. So we rent equipment, mainly track loaders, compact excavators, anything related to the construction industry. We also have a supply side of the business. We sell rebar, we sell lumber, basically the concrete supplies that goes in the concrete construction. Day by day, we're growing bigger, the supply side. Sometimes the market kind of dictates what you actually become or will become in the future.
Sure.
Right now, we're still a younger company. Every day we like to always have a vision. Don't be just boxing on what we started with. We are in the process right now, try to know what we're going to be in the future. Right?
I see. Yeah. The long-term vision.
Long-term vision,
short-term and long-term.
Right, we started with rentals. We expand on the concrete supply side. And who knows what we're going to be in the future. We're probably bigger on the supply side and then smaller on the rental. Right.
Where do you want to be 5 years from now or 12 months from now, right? There's a short and then long term. I know I was just downstairs with you and you showed me the supplies that you have bought to sell. I've seen you expand. You just crossed your 2 million mark sales, which is amazing. And you're trying to go out there and get the clients and just hire the right people as well at the same time, right? Because team is really important, right? I see you have an individual who's your right hand, who's come from a lot of experience. I think he's worked for Bobcat.
Yeah, he worked at Bobcat for close to 10 years.
And so did you actually. How long did you work for Bobcat?
So, I wasn't there for very long, to be honest. It was probably 2 years at most. Used to work in the financing side of equipment, and way before that, I was actually at the job site. So I was working in construction as a project manager.
Oh wow! So you kind of done all of it, the whole cycle.
Started in the industry, like doing the work, and then kind of transitioned into the financing side of equipment. Then went on to work for Bobcat as a sales rep. And I was actually, doing material handling, financing.
Oh, wow. That's great experience.
Yes, that's when I, kind of started thinking about also, start building my business because of the knowledge that I got. The contacts, and the, I guess, customer base that I had. And, that's kind of, what also got me to start my business. Yeah.
Got it. Was there any other reason that you wanted to start or you just wanted to be on your own and have the financial freedom as well at the same time, right?
I always wanted to own my own business. Growing up, my dad actually in Mexico, he owned a convenience store, and eventually we became a wholesale supplier to a small chain of stores. And so, growing up, I was always involved in, in a business type setting, being my dad also a business person. I always had it on my mind, like I need to start a business. At the beginning, I didn't know what it was gonna be. But then as I started my career, working in the construction industry, then going to financing, then going to sales role. For me to define what my business was gonna be, an approach of always reaching out for the lowest hanging fruit. So the lowest hanging fruit was in the construction industry. Then on equipment and all of that.
Just added the stuff on there.
Exactly. So my experience kind of, also dictate, it has to be in construction. I didn't know what at the time, but then
at that time we weren't sure.
Rounds and now supplies. Yeah.
Your father had an impact on you as well, right? And you were in that business arena, which kind of helped you be confident and start your own.
Right.
And of course, financial freedom comes with it as well, right? As long as you pay the cards right. Because I know for a fact that most businesses don't last over 2 years. 90% of them actually fade away, right? So you're in your 5th or 6th year mark now. You started doing a pandemic around.
So after the pandemic, it started very small.
Very small at that time.
Very small.
I know some industries did really well during the pandemic. Some did not, right? But you kind of got through that phase. Wanted to ask you, what did your early days look like before the success people see now? What issues did you face which didn't exist the first year, but you kind of went through it and said, wow, okay, I didn't know that as a business owner, I'd have to face this.
Right.
What were one or two things that really that kind of took you by surprise?
So, I heard one time, I can't remember which podcast or YouTube video or TikTok, I heard that what got you to the first million is not going to get you to the second or third, and definitely not to the 5th million. So, at the beginning, you pretty much wear all the hats, You are the salesperson, you are the bookkeeper in a way, you wear all the hats, Now, what I can see, at the beginning is like, I was doing so much. And I think it's just part of, building a business. You don't have the capital to start from the beginning, hiring people.
Sure. You want to save as much as you can.
You want to save as much as you can. I mean, you have to maximize your capital, if you have. So that's one thing that I learned, right? That what got me to my first one is not going to be to my second, third, fifth one.
I see.
And the other thing is that when you start, me coming from the sales role, I was thinking, it's going to be probably mostly sales, which of course it is, because if there's no sales, then there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Right?
Agreed.
But at the same time is that you think that what you are good at, that's also going to get you, to going.
Yeah.
But no, you basically start your business. Sometimes you see other businesses and you think, they seem like they're doing fine. Or you see other person like, he started his business and now it seems like he's growing. But you don't really know what's all happening, behind closed doors. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Behind closed doors, all the, I guess also the discipline that goes into it. So all those aspects, stuff that I didn't know at the beginning.
I see.
And definitely you start as a person and then you become a different whole person during the whole process.
You change.
And we're constantly changing. I know you probably are too, because you are also on your business.
Yeah.
And you know that every day is a different challenge, in a way.
Agreed.
And
completely
you are
agreed.
a completely different person probably when you start your business to nowadays.
Wow.
And that's what I'm seeing myself. And and that's a good thing because if you have challenges, you basically become stronger.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it.
And but
makes sense.
You also, one thing that you don't know is who you're gonna actually become.
It's like the buck stops with you, right? You can't go back and ask your manager because you are it.
Yeah, that's it, right?
You have to figure out yourself.
Yeah.
Right. What the next step is, right?
Exactly. All the risks and rewards.
All the risks and rewards.
You are, you're responsible or you reap the rewards.
Yeah.
But definitely it's not easy, It's definitely not easy. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. But wearing different hats is something that's going to happen when you have your own business, especially starting out.
Yeah.
You're not going to start with 15 people who are going to do stuff for you, right?
No.
How do you stay focused and motivated during difficult, uncertain times? For example, some days I wake up, I'm like, I know what's coming, and I just want to stay in bed, right? How do you solve this problem?
Right.
What keeps you going?
So going back to the family, I think that's my main motivation, right? My family. I want to build a good future for my family.
Yeah.
And also I want to build something that lasts, not only for myself, but if they want to eventually be in the business, that is something that also probably going to be there, for them.
Some type of legacy.
Some type of legacy, right? Motivation is to build a legacy for my family. And, on the hard days, because those hard days probably, they're more than we will like. You're building something important. And there is also people counting on you, right? Your employees, they're in a way counting on you, right?
Good point.
Yeah, because that's, their work.
It's a livelihood.
Yeah, your employees are counting on you. Your wife is counting on you. Your, son, daughters, they're counting on you. probably also your mom and dad, right? Because they want you to do good. They're also counting on you.
Yes.
And so
no pressure.
it's a good thing. And also, right, there is some pressure, right? Because they're counting on you. But if it's meaningful to you, then that's the motivation. And the thing is that when you have hard days, it's very easy to say, you know what, today was a hard day.
Yeah.
And now I'm back at it and I'm 100%. But what I learned is that sometimes it takes 2 or 3 hours, or sometimes it takes a day.
Yeah.
For you to now be at 100%.
I see.
But if you say that it's something really bad happened, but I know that at 100%, probably you're at 80.
Okay.
And that is something that you have to be sincere with you about it, right? Because if you get hit, it's not like you're 100% right away, right?
Be honest with yourself.
You be honest with yourself, and just to reflect on why you're doing it, and then you're back at 100%.
Good point. Very,
it's
very
like,
good.
we all
have those days.
Yeah, we'll have those days.
But be honest with yourself and say, you know what? Okay, I need to wind down.
I need time to take a step back and see, what I need to correct.
Yeah.
I'm feeling this way.
Yeah.
It's fine, because it's a challenge and it's hard.
Yeah.
I need to take a step back.
Okay.
Come up with a strategy and then.
Okay. Kind of strategize and say, okay, we know there's a problem here. Let's fix it and move on, because there's going to be another one next day.
Right.
But let's get through this. But you mentioned a key point that that you love what you do, right?
Yeah.
You enjoy the journey, right? On a daily basis,
right?
You solve the problems, you move on. Today is something else. Tomorrow is probably going to be something else, a bigger issue, right? Yes. But what keeps you going, of course, like you says, the family as well, and just keep going, keep solving one issue at a time, right? I think that's key.
Yes, right. Of course, the goal of a business is to make money, but the way that I see it is to make money by providing value, like real value. Not making money for the sake of making money, but rather making money because you are providing a real value to your customer.
I see.
That's the way that I see it, and that's what really defines success. All this money, but are we really providing value?
That's the key, you think?
Yeah, of course you need to make money because otherwise you have to shut down. So you have to make money, but the way that I see it is that you have to provide value.
I see.
And then
Great advice.
Yeah.
From my understanding, the more you fail, the more successful you get. But you got to have the charisma to come back. Can you share a failure or setback that significantly shaped you or the company and you moved on from that?
Right. We had an issue with some credit card fraud.
Okay.
And we lose a significant amount of capital, money. Also at the time, I was about 4 months after I had open first time to the public, like on a street front building and stuff. That happened at very early on when we opened doors.
It was a large amount at the time for you.
Yeah, and also it was challenging, emotionally as well, because of course, who wants to lose money?
Of course, especially when starting out.
Yeah, especially to fraud or something of that nature.
Wow.
Right. The way that I came back from it is to honestly you only have to find a solution, or that's basically what it is, right? If there is a problem,
I see,
you find a solution.
That's the first thing.
Yeah, you have to find a solution, and then keep moving forward.
I see.
Because you can whine all they want. You can whine, you can cry, you can be mad, you can get angry and stuff, but that doesn't change anything.
I see.
It doesn't change anything. What you need to do, if you need to, just take a step back again, strategize.
Okay.
Come up with a solution.
Wow.
Come up with alternatives and work on it.
Wow, that's a big one. Losing hard-earned money, right? And then kind of going back to square one.
Right.
And you don't have anyone to go to ask questions. You just kind of figure out yourself, right?
Exactly.
You have a choice of being angry and making things worse, or we know this happened, like you mentioned, find a solution and move forward.
Right.
And learn from it, I guess.
Learn from it. Yeah, definitely learn from it.
What advice would you give to someone just starting out their entrepreneurial journey? Let's say they're working for someone and they love what they do, but they want to go on their own. They want an independence, right? That a business owner can have. What advice would you give to that person?
You have to find your why, which is very, dependent on
very
you.
Good.
Very,
wow.
Individual. You have to find your why. Going back, like I said, for me, it was my family, build a legacy, but also it was to provide value, right, to our customers. You have to find also your lowest hanging fruit, right? What are you good at, right?
I see.
What industry are you involved with?
I see.
Right.
I see.
Do you have a network that actually, you can provide value, right? Is there an underserved segment of the market that needs attention?
I see.
Then
I see.
then you can step in, right? Know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's very personal of you. Your why. Find what you're good at.
Yeah.
See what's your lowest hanging fruit that you can go to, right?
You gotta find out. You have to be honest with yourself.
Right.
How can you serve in what area, right? Because if you pretend to be something that you are not, most likely you're gonna fail.
Right.
Somewhere down the line.
Just know that what you to the point, to your first million is not gonna get you also to your second million, because you can wear all the hats all the time.
I see.
So you
I
also
see.
have to you have to strategize on building a team eventually, right?
I see. They talk about the 4 to 5 stages of the company. The first one is where you're doing everything yourself, right?
Right.
And when you get to a point where you are making some money, but you can replicate yourself, because you have to focus on other things to bring business. So you have to hire the right people who can, do and expand to your vision, right?
Right.
They say that every entrepreneur need to have 4 or 5 intrapreneurs working for you. So you have your head of marketing or chief operating officer. So one vision and 4 or 5 people under to fulfill that vision. If you could go back 5 years, 6 years, and speak to yourself on day one, you want to start a business, make a difference, but a lot of gaps, a lot of things you didn't know. What would you say to yourself? And I think that would also help the audience figure out, with someone down the road 5, 6 years, what mentality or what mindset could they have had to have a better or easier journey?
That what you're gonna embark on is not easy. If it was easy, everybody will do it. Have the compromise, have the discipline, and just knowing that there are gonna be challenges, and also focusing on what's important.
What's important?
Yeah.
What's important
to you and why you're doing it. Going back to it.
Great point.
Be consistent.
Be consistent.
Be consistent as well. Consistency, I think, is cool. Discipline beats talent sometimes.
But makes sense. Makes sense. Very true.
So you have to be disciplined. You have to be constant.
Every day. Every day, regardless of what's going on out there.
Yeah, I explained this to my wife. What we're doing.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy, and also in a way she's in the same boat that we're in the same journey.
Sure.
Drip of water. Just think of a small drip of water on a rock. Eventually, it shapes it.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Small stuff you have to keep constant. Even when you don't see any change, you have to keep constant.
I see.
And eventually, you're gonna start seeing.
So patience.
Yeah, patience.
Patience is important as well. I see. My daughter, she got married about 2.5 years ago, and she moved to Chicago. I talk to her often, and she said, "Oh, Dad, you work very hard, and I know it's not easy." And she was telling me how difficult it was moving from Texas to Chicago. She was saying, yeah, it's kind of hard, but I told her, that's okay. What is your story? What is going to be your story? What you're doing right now, you're creating that story. I have stories for the last 30 years. What will be your story? And that's what you're doing, right? You're shaping that. And one day you'll be telling that story, right? Same thing with you as well. You have come along the last 6 years, and honestly, I think you're going to be very successful. I'll be keeping an eye on George here, Avanza Equipment. Well, I think it's going to go a very long way. I want to thank you for your time.
You,
I really appreciate it. We'll maybe have another one after a couple of years and see where you are. Thanks so much for joining us on Enspireship. We learned a lot from George. Basically, why is important? Why do you want to start your business? Be patient, disciplined, and consistent in your journey. If there's a problem, solve it and move on. Thank you again for joining us. Until next time, and this is Tanvir Shenoy, your host.